What is Terraria? How do I play it? These are questions you might be asking yourself if you've recently been gifted or have purchased the game. Fear not, although the game is abundant in enemies, items, NPCs, and gameplay mechanics, at its core, there are just a few principles that you'll need to understand in order to go into your first playthrough with enough perspective to do a good job of things. This video is a quick introduction before we continue with the beginner's guide, which will show you in more detail the first steps you'll want to take when starting your adventure in Terraria. First of all, Terraria is a game about progression. Your tools and weapons, seen here, can be upgraded into more powerful and effective versions, either through crafting them yourself, finding them out in the world as treasure, or sometimes through loot dropped by monsters. New weapons allow for more survivability against tougher enemies. They inflict more damage, have wider areas of effect, etc. New tools, on the other hand, allow for faster woodcutting, faster digging, and the mining of tougher and more resilient ores. The ores you mine, the wood you chop, and the earth you dig up can all be used in the game's crafting system. Various crafting stations can be created, including workbenches, furnaces, and anvils. One of the key gameplay mechanics in Terraria is base building. Although eventually you'll want to spread several bases out throughout the map, at first you'll just need to make a single large home for you and several NPCs to move into. Those NPCs will each need a room with a table, a chair, and a light source that they can call their own. Otherwise, they're not going to move in. Once an NPC is in your base, they'll provide something. Typically, they'll have particular sets of items to sell to you, and they'll buy your items and your loot as well. Others will be able to heal you, or upgrade your equipment, or offer other services. Different points in your progression will introduce different NPCs into your world. The guide always starts alongside you at the start of the game. The merchant moves in once you have acquired 50 silver or more. The nurse, on the other hand, will only move in once you have more than 100 health and the merchant is already present, so on and so forth. With each new NPC you meet, you'll need to construct additional living quarters, so plan for a fairly large home base. Make sure you build an empty room before they arrive, otherwise they're not going to show up. Terraria also has a lot of items, and I mean a lot. So also plan for storage rooms with treasure chests in which you can store items by category for easier access. Combat is also a big feature of the game. Typically it involves randomly spawning enemies, but it culminates in a series of memorable boss battles throughout the game. You can equip weapons, you can equip armor, you can equip accessories that boost certain stats. All of these will get stronger as you face stronger and stronger enemies. The first boss you're going to face is almost certainly the Eye of Cthulhu. Like many other bosses in the game, it's inspired by the monsters dreamed up by the fantasy horror author H.P. Lovecraft. For perspective, the Eye of Cthulhu, seen here, has a 1 in 3 chance of spawning every night when the following conditions have been met in your game. First of all, the Eye has not yet been defeated in the current world. Second, at least one player in the world has at least 200 health and more than 10 defense. And then finally, at least 4 town NPCs have to be present in the world. If your character dies, fear not. You'll respawn at the spawn point and you'll get to continue playing, albeit maybe with a loss of some modest amount of money. The last core concept in Terraria is the biome. Terraria has several biomes, including the snow biome, the jungle biome, the beach biome, desert biomes, etc. Each different biome features different monsters, different loot to acquire, and generally a very different feel. The weather will also be affected by the biome. Your world will also feature a tainted biome, which will either be the Crimson or the Corruption, each with hellish enemies specific to that particular biome. And take note, the Crimson and the Corruption also spreads. So in Terraria, you start weak, poorly equipped, practically alone, and without a place to call a home. But it's all uphill from there as you acquire items and equipment, greet new NPCs as companions in your base, and generally become a richer and more robust character. For more guidance on the nuts and bolts of playing Terraria, continue watching my beginner's guide. If it doesn't autoplay, please follow the link in the video description below to find the next video. Good luck to you in Terraria, and welcome to the game.